Thank you, Mr Speaker. When one looks at the explanatory note to this, the Employment Relations Amendment Bill, the general policy statement comes across as extremely positive. It tells us that the purpose of the bill is to provide more flexibility, greater choice and ensure a balance of fairness for both employers and employees in the Principal Act while improving its overall operation and efficiency. Now, when we turn to the Māori Party employment relations policy, it would appear that there is considerable room for comfort if we're to look at our policy in this proposed bill, all things being equal. Our policy states that we will support the right for employees to be treated fairly and with dignity and to a safe and healthy workplace. But the key statement is all things being equal. And I want to refer to the comments from a submission from Te No2 Kahurangi o Aotearoa, the Tertiary Education Union of Aotearoa. They said, this amendment will further turn the balance of power away from employees, in particular young and vulnerable employees, and those employed in low unionised work sites. Basically, the bill will allow employers to dismiss employees without reason or justification, clearly contradicting the concept of natural justice built up in New Zealand employment law over time through case law. Okay, so let's go look at the current situation for these young and vulnerable employees that Te No2 Kahurangi refers to. And these are the things also that our membership raises with us when they talk about employment matters. They talk about trade training and work experience, how we can support our young people into secure and sustainable employment. They come to us with some amazing ideas, things like a skills barter system within communities. This would work something along the lines of a carpenter trade some of his or her skills for the skill of a plasterer and vice versa. Our members call on us to reduce unemployment amongst Māori. They ask us to fight anti-worker legislation. But guess what? They don't ask us to extend trial periods to all employers. They don't ask us to specify the role and enforcement powers of labour inspectors. They want us to have a mechanism in place by which we resolve employment problems more quickly and more efficiently. And of course, we want to be more effective in restoring the confidence of all parties in various aspects of the employment relationships, such as the personal grievance system. We want to do this so that the negative impact of these problems on workplace productivity will be reduced. But we also want to talk about the things that really matter to us, the things that we as a party believe is critical for us to advance. And it has to be employment opportunities for our young people. If you look at the demographic profile of our population, we know that 1 in 4 babies born are now born into tangata whenua homes. But if we look a little further down the life cycle, we find that at the latest quarter, unemployment for Māori 15 to 24-year-olds has risen from 26.7% to 26.8% over the year, and for our Pacifica young people, it has risen from 27.9% to 29.8% over that same time. In comparison, across all young people, the rate is 16.2%. This is the key issue that confronts our members, and it is the key issue that confronts us in this bill. For how can we willingly, indeed how can any members willingly act in a way that we know will most likely exacerbate the fragile employment status of our most vulnerable? We cannot support this bill.